Alright guys, hi, welcome back to my show. Uh, um, Thank you for joining me, and since today is Thursday, we're going to do some defense. So this is the critical position, and we'll try to figure it out together. So I'm going to start the clock right now. It's better to have a time limit whenever you're solving a chess puzzle. So this is black to move. I'm gonna do some defense. Oh, hello, Coach Jake. My wife. Hi, Sheila87. Hello. Thank you for joining me. How do I open? Okay, there you go. Trying to open the emoji. Nice. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to I have to write down moves that I calculate when I'm solving a chess puzzle, so so I can compare it to the notes on the book, to what the author writes down, and also so I can see if I'm doing, if I'm able to guess or find out the best moves in this position. It's better to write down your moves. Alright. What can we say about this position? So, if we're playing as black, we have this double F pawns. We're losing. I mean, it looks horrible. Double F pawns. I mean, we have the pair of bishops, but our light squared bishop, it's horrible too. It's being blocked by this knight on F5. So, this looks horrible. At least we're up by pawn, even though we have ugly double F pawns. We have bad bishop on G6. We're up a pawn. So we have that as a positive note. So let's see. How can we apply Jacob Aagaard's 3 questions that we have to ask ourselves and figure out when we're looking at chess position? Those 3 questions are: what are the weaknesses? Which is the worst piece, and what is your opponent's plan or idea? So our worst piece here, it's the bishop on G6. Bishop on F8, it's kind of passive too. At least it's preventing the knight on F5 from jumping on H6. What about white? Almost all of us white's pieces, I mean, except the rook. The 2 rooks are inactive. So maybe white can play rook, I don't know, rook G1 with the idea of H4, H5. H4, H5, or even H4 then G5. So that's an idea. Controlling this file, the E file for black, is not that useful, because if you control this E file but you cannot put your rook in a better square than on E8, let's say on rook on the second rank, then it's kind of useless to control the E file. And this pawn structure looks like it came from a Petrov defense, where there's an early exchange of E pawn, E takes D5, Knight takes. I mean the e pawns are gone, so it looks like a Petrov defense. And really, the control of e file is not that important. Even if you double on the e file, it's kind of useless for black. For example, black plays rook e6 and rook ae8, useless because where can your rook go? Maybe you can also do that. With the idea of rook e6, rook ae8, queen a5, just trying to exchange the pieces. Maybe it's an idea because you're up a pawn. Okay. All right. What else can we say about this position? What else can we say about this position? All right. Hmm. Stuff to play this as black. I'm running out of ideas. Maybe I can play c5 too. In order to exchange the c pawn. Oh, I cannot even play c5 right away because queen takes d5. Hmm. And if I take the knight here on f4, it's just queen takes f5, threatening to checkmate black, so I cannot exchange my bishop, the knight. Very tough position to play. Thinking about just playing rook e6 and rook a8 followed by queen a5, then rook e1. Trying to exchange the pieces because I'm under attack, and usually when you're under attack, you want to exchange pieces to decrease your opponent's attacking pieces. After rook e6. Oh, why also white has this idea of playing h4 h5, forcing our light squared bishop to capture the knight on f5. This one is another threat for against black. This white's threat. That's maybe that's the question. That's the answer for our third question, where according to Grandmaster Jacob Augard plays, what is your opponent's plan? What is your opponent's idea? H4 A5, H4 to H5 is an idea. Maybe rook F1 to G1 followed by G5, H4 G5. It's another idea, but H4 to H5, forcing our light squared bishop to capture white's knight on F5 is it's a pretty good idea. Okay, how can we prevent white from doing that? If we play H6, then it becomes a weakness. Then just play H5. If I play H6, then white plays H5. Then bishop H7, then queen, maybe queen. Queen to D1, then queen F4. Then bishop here. If I go here, the idea of to play queen D2 to attack the H6 pawn. But black has this queen F4. Idea is to prevent the white queen from controlling the C1 to H1 diagonal. So that's an interesting idea. But so instead of playing for white playing queen D1, what else can white play? Oh, maybe white can play knight H4 or even knight E3. It's trying to exchange that bishop on H7. C takes D3. Let's say knight H4. I'm not sure if that's a good idea to exchange black's light squared bishop with because the black's light squared bishop, it's bad. It's inactive, whereas white has some pressure. Maybe it's not true. Maybe. What is black's black's first move? I don't even know. I'm thinking about rook e6. Maybe I can play bishop d6 with the idea of taking the knight on g3. Anyway, we're trying to exchange the pieces, bishop for knight. Well, what's gonna happen after that? How should white retake, or does he need to retake the bishop on g3? Say, like go here, h4. Bishop takes here. Oh, f takes here. Oh, the idea is still to play h5. Okay. Yeah, it's looking good. I don't think black can take the knight on g3. Because if that file opens, this f file opens, then after f takes here, then the rook on f1 becomes stronger, and our f6 and f7 might fall. Yeah, it's a tough position to play. Oh man. It's easier to attack than to defend. Gotta make a decision. Maybe I should just play c5, c4. c5 queen takes d5, then sacrifice the pawn on d5. Just to get the queen out of that f3 square. And c takes d4, queen takes d4. Bishop c5. At least my bishop can go to c5 after exchanging white's d pawn for black c pawn. Wow. Yeah, maybe I'll just play rook e6 with the idea of double on the rook. Well, I don't know. I'm very unsure of this position, how to defend this one. Alright, let's look at the solution. Look at the solution. Quote, black to move. Assessment, black has wasted several tempi before capturing pawn on b2. Most likely black took with a queen, then went back to b6, then to c7. Maybe that's what happened. With his queen and with broken kingside, he has come under a very strong attack. For a pawn, in exchange for the pawn, white has pressure. Hi, coach. Hi, Jeffrey. So, hello. Thank you for watching my show, King H1. Alright. So code his tenacious defense, therefore deserves all the more attention. Bishop to g7. Okay, I was thinking about this one. I'm not sure. Because if you put your bishop here on g7, looks dumb. It's controlling, it's protecting this f6 square. But my idea when I was thinking about the idea is to play here. And if, for example, white plays h4, h5, then after, let's say, bishop takes, knight takes, knight, then knight f8, protecting this pawn on h7. But I rejected it because this bishop here looks bad. But the question is, where else can we put black's dark squared bishop? So the text, this is a game between Geza Morozzi versus Richard Reddy, happened in the year 1927, so a long time ago. But these are both popular players. The Morozzi bind of the Sicilian and English opening are named after Geza Morozzi. And the famous knight f3, g3, bishop g2, c4, and d followed by d3 is named after Richard Reddy. So two famous players from 1920s. Bishop g7. Okay, the f8 square is needed for the knight and for the defense of h7. All right. Or g1. Okay, I'm just curious. What does the computer say here? I'm gonna turn on the Stockfish 12 for a few time, maybe a few seconds. What does the computer think about this position? It's plus over minus. It's 0.97. So it's good. And computer says c5 is a good move. So it's an active defense. So what is the computer's idea after, let's say, queen takes d5? So I thought about c5 too, just giving up the pawn on d5. Trying to get some counterplay, because if black wasted doing passive defense, I don't know if I can survive. But so c5, it's not moving. c5. Yeah, my chess base is not moving. Okay, there we go. Goes c5. Okay, queen takes d5, let's see. Then rook a d8. Now black is slight advantage. Wow. Then queen f3. Queen f3, then c takes d4. Okay, so now I get it. So the idea of playing c5 is to exchange my c pawn for d pawn to create an outpost for my knight on e5. My chess base still frozen. Need to get a new computer, better computer. All right, I think that's the idea. I mean, why would black sacrifice a pawn? Oh no, it's not c takes d4. Rook a d8. Is this a Catalan coach? This Jeffrey. This is, it's exchange, French defense exchange variation from French defense. Okay. All right. c5 is also possible. Active defense. Instead of playing bishop g7, like passive defense. Rook a d8. Oh, okay. I gotta turn off the Stockfish because chess base is hanging. But at least we now know c5 is also possible. Just thinking about it. My move was rook e6. What does computer say about rook e6? He's just losing? We'll see. Okay, we'll try one more time. Rook e6 instead of c5 or bishop. Because my idea is to double on the on the e file. Okay. Oh, double. This is my idea. Double on the e file. Play queen a5. Then rechange rooks. In order, because the general principle is when you're under attack, you want to exchange pieces. So your opponent have less pieces to checkmate you. But rook e6, according to Stockfish 12, it's answered by h4. followed by h5. So h6, then knight h5. Yeah, a lot of pressure. No. Okay, I'm just gonna turn off the stockfish stove. Maybe I can look it up later. Maybe. Okay, but c5 is also possible. That's c5 is the computer's suggestion. But okay. Okay, bishop g7, rook g1. Okay, so if the idea is to, if black takes, then maybe pawn takes here. I'm not sure. Maybe not, because if g takes f5, then it shuts down this bishop, so not good. What is the idea for rook g1? Maybe h4 h5. I think I would still, if I were white, I would still play h4 h5, trying to force the black bishop to take the knight. Then I take with the queen. Let's see, king h8. Okay, quote, agreeing to the less of tempo, merely tempt white into exchanging one of his attacking knights, unless he increases his offensive power. Okay, and quote, king h8. Okay, knight h5, bishop f5. I don't know. Then queen takes f5, threatening to checkmate black with one move. Okay, you gotta defend it. Knight f8. Then knight takes g7, the most energetic by capturing the pawn. If knight takes f6, this is what I'm thinking. Then rook e6, then go back here, knight h7. Then white would have conceded the initiative with rook h6. Ooh, because now I'm threatening this knight and that rook. But I'm thinking, okay, after knight takes a7, I don't. After rook e6, can I just play here? Yeah, still looks good for white. I don't know about this one. Is this good? Just jawing those pawns. Maybe white can also give the rook on a1 in exchange, so white can control more dark squares. But the problem is white doesn't have dark squared bishop anymore, so maybe rook e6, or even, yeah, trying to figure out how to get rid of this knight on f8 so I can just bam checkmate that, but it's just a dream. Interesting. Maybe I can just play rook a d1. I don't know. I still like white. But we'll see. So knight f8, knight takes g7, king takes g7, g5. What is the idea here? Okay. Opening the g file. Yeah. Okay. Knight g6. If f takes g5, queen takes g5, knight g6, queen f. No. h4, followed by h5. Yeah, h4. Okay. Followed by h5. Attacking the pin piece. And that's what you're supposed to do when your opponent has a pin piece. A pin piece is a piece where you can't move. Usually when you move, it's either open check or you're gonna lose more material if you move a pin piece. Pinned. Alright. So g5, knight g6, g takes f6. You want to put the queen on g7. Then rook g4. What is the idea here? To go here? So if knight takes rook, then queen takes h7. Code opening the way for the queen to h7. Okay. Rook e6, then rook here, h4. No? What is the idea here? Basically, you cannot take the rook on h4 because queen takes h7 checkmate. Maybe queen d8. Queen d8, then queen h5. I think then queen g8. That's interesting. Then queen g8, defending this pawn on h7. So white didn't play rook h4. Instead here, white played queen h5. So if we have more time, we will do more calculation. And this is another critical position where you have to spend more time. Like, it's not clear if white's build up on the king side would succeed. I mean, it looks like it's succeeding, but we have this idea, defensive ideas like queen d8, queen g8. If white decides to gang up on your 8-7 pawn, so good idea. Rook e6, queen h5. So now the idea is what? Bishop takes or rook takes g6. What happens after rook takes f6? Then rook takes h6. Then if rook takes pawn, then rook h4, threatening to queen takes h7 checkmate. Maybe black should go here now, followed by queen g8. Oh, he did. Queen d8. Nice. Parrying the threat of rook h4, f4. Then black took. So what is the idea? Black took the pawn on f6. If f5, what's going on in here? Okay. Then what? Then this is a fork. Trying to take the knight and the rook. What's going on in here? Is black just sacrificing the knight so he can like check there? Oh, this is tough. f5, okay, rook e3 takes here. Then queen f3, okay. King h2. Then queen f2. Oh, king h2 is a mistake. Quote, in a long series of excellent moves by sides, white is the first to go wrong. In the end, they should have been able to win the endgame after king to g1. It's an endgame, huh? Okay. Takes there. Bishop takes. Okay, trying to checkmate us. Queen h7. What, queen g3 now? Oh, queen h3. Because I'm thinking queen g3 check, rook g3, rook g3. No, I cannot play queen g3. We're gonna lose material. I thought I missed white's rook on a1. Okay, just gonna delete this color. So queen h3 takes, then bishop move to d3. If rook h4, then I think rook g3, right? Yeah, rook h4 is a blunder. Why is first to be mated? Because of rook g3 checkmate. Not checkmate, but just check. Yeah, rook g3, king f2, queen g2, king e1, rook e3, king d1. Rook g3, king f2, queen g2, king e1, queen g1. Yeah, queen g1 check. Then let's say king d2, then queen e3, king d1, then rook g1. Okay, got it. So rook h4 is a blunder. White needs to take the queen, then move the bishop back, then rook g8. Okay, code. But now black's reward for his tenacity could have been perpetual check with 31 rook e2. Okay. So in the game, instead of king g1, white played king h2. Now, since white's rook is pinned, because if it moves anywhere except g5 and h4 where it protects the queen, then you capture the queen here. So alright, so king h is a mistake because of rook g2 idea. So bishop takes, queen takes. So if white covers, then you take the queen. So the white rook is pinned on g4. So king has to go. Okay, rook e2 is check is the correct one. Oh, black missed this one. Richard Reddy, who's playing in black, missed the rook e2 idea. Yes. Yeah, this is a perpetual check. So let's say king g1, then queen here. Then just check. Yeah. Then I go back to e3. Then if it goes there, then again queen f3. Okay. And if white goes to, let's say, becomes ambitious, like I go king here, then now black has an reinforcement with rook e2, and this is a two moves checkmate. Terrible. All right, so rook e2 was black's best move, but Richard Reddy played f takes g6. Okay, f takes g6, then now what? Okay, maybe white can now move. Maybe white can play queen h4, because just to trying to unpin this rook. Jeffrey So in that pattern is actually useful. Yep, the pattern, the rook e2. You're right. Yeah, I mean rook e2. Nah, coach, international master coach Joel Banawa and I was solving. We're using this book, Practical Chess Defense, by authored by Jacob Augard, and he was solving. I was the one who was defending one of the positions there, and I missed this pattern of zigzag method with the queen perpetual check, because what we do is we set up the position from the book. Then, oh, I have those books. Yeah, those are excellent books, Jeffrey. Excellent books, and those are hard books to solve. It's a master Practical Chess Defense by Jacob Augard. We also, when I was studying at Webster University, and we were doing this training with grandmasters. Susan, a bit too hard for my level though. Okay, all right, it is a bit too hard. Yep. Yeah, and my former coach Susan Polgar uses that book, and it's advanced level. If you don't like it, maybe this book, the one that I'm using, The Art of Chess Defense, is still, it depends on your training. For me, it's okay. It's all right. It's not as hard as Jacob Augard's book, Practical Chess Defense, but it has a lot of ideas. The Art of Chess Defense, authored by Lev Polugayevsky and Iakov Damsky. But these are grandmaster training. It's gonna help you become better in defense. But this one is pretty good. It looks like black is losing, but he has this rook e2 check idea. So I'm doing mostly tactics now. Yeah, tactics is very good. Doing tactics is the fastest way to improve in chess, guaranteed. King h2. Okay. All right. F takes g6. Queen h4. Okay, just trying to get out of the pin, right? Because now rook e2 doesn't work. Then bishop takes, queen takes, e2 then cover. No more checks. And this black has this check, but bad check. And pawn takes queen. Okay, so queen h4, reinforcement, rook f8. Okay, can I just play here? Rook g1, the idea of cover, reinforcement, defense. Rook f8, rook takes g6. I don't know. Okay, so no problem with rook e2 because bishop takes, queen takes, then rook g2. Okay, all right. So no problem. Time to eat, right? Time to chop those pawns. And also the idea is after rook takes g6, and let's say, I don't know. Let's say black decides there, then maybe you can just go here. Now white has this threat. Checkmate on h7. Okay, useful move. Aside from getting more points, material. Rook f8, rook takes g6, rook f4, queen h6. This looks scary for white too, and too many pieces here. It's getting me nervous. If I'm playing as white, I would get nervous. I have to think. Hopefully I have time on my clock when this is played in a tournament, and I gotta spend more time. One wrong move, I get checkmated. So here, white played queen h6. Why? The idea is here. Rook g8, king takes here, bishop h7, king here, that correct? I don't know. Because I thought I can play bishop g6, then king g8, queen h7, king f8, queen h8, king e7. I don't know. What is White's idea with queen h6? These moves are deep, huh? Kind of hard to calculate these moves. Because right now when we are number 33rd move, and I checked that game, there is queen h3. Queen h3. What move is that, Jeffrey? Queen h3. Oh, you're talking about number 35 after queen h6. Oh, okay. Cool. You're ahead. And thank you for letting me know. Queen h3. Oh man. So the idea of queen h3 after queen h6 is it's weird that it's a good move though. But after queen h3, what is the idea here? No, I don't understand. Queen g7 is the idea. Dumb. Queen g7 is a simple idea, but checkmate in one move. Come on, man. Alright. So here, this is what Jeffrey is talking about. I have a Chessbase open as well. Okay. Alright, Chessbase, but don't turn on the engine if you're training. I remember one time when I played against Grandmaster elect. He's an international master, Filipino American international master elect, John Bryant, and we played in Los Angeles. It's a pretty good game. I played as white. King's Indian Defense, John Bryant, international master, played black. And after the game, I was talking to him because before I was playing, look, Fritz says that, Fritz says though, and I told him I want to check in the computer first before I want to analyze with you, or can we use the computer when I'm analyzing with you? But he told me, look, if the chess engine is on, your brain is off. Turn off the chess engine when you're analyzing. You're gonna get lazy. So hopefully it's a good practice. Turn off the chess engine when you're solving chess puzzles, like good chess training, and afterwards you can turn on the chess engine. But when you're solving it for the first time, spend some 20 minutes, write down your moves. It's better to have your engine off and your brain on. Remember that. Queen h6, queen h3, queen h3, rook h3, takes, pawn takes. Can black still draw this one? No, because of rook e7, huh? So I was thinking about c3. I agree, coach. Yes, Jeffrey. Thank you for agreeing with me. Rook e1, rook takes, rook e7. This is very good. But here, look at black's rook. It's active. It's cutting off white's king, so it cannot get closer to black's king and deliver a checkmate, like a punch checkmate. So rook takes d4. I don't know. Rook e7, rook b4, a3. Okay. Then now black has to move the rook, and if it goes away and stop controlling the fourth rank, then the white king advances. So this is a problem for for black. So now if the rook stops defending the b7 pawn, then white is gonna start jumping. Take the pawn, maybe go here on c7, then take. So just eat and eat. So maybe that's the reason why what happened. So rook b1 now move bishop takes here, rook a1, rook takes here, rook takes. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. King g4, king h6, a5, king g5. I'm gonna checkmate you. And for example, what's nice about this idea is, like for example, king g5, go here, I go here, I try to checkmate you, and if you check, then just covers. This is nice. This is a good idea. White covers, and if you go here, you still get checkmated because the bishop is doing a fantastic job preventing your black king to escape, right? You cannot go to g7, you cannot go to h7, so game over, man. It's a good example. It's one of the hardest one that I saw in this position. I was not able to find the best move, and it took me 20 minutes. Still don't know what to play. C5 is a good idea. It's an active defense, but this from the author, the idea of this chapter is passive defense. So maybe c5 is still better. I still feel that c5 instead of bishop f8 to g7 is better. I don't know. If I have this position, I would play c5. But of course, you gotta calculate things, right? Alright, so he's here in this position. This is the critical position. Black to move. 19th move. White's last move is king h1. Yeah. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I enjoy this one. Defending in chess is one of the most underrated tactics. No, not tactics. Like skill that you can develop, because look, it's easier to attack. It's nicer to attack, but it's bad when you're the one who's under attack. So, and remember that most grandmasters that I played, I attack them as best as I can, but the problem is they know how to defend. If your opponent doesn't know how to defend, it's good. But if you know how to defend, then you're gonna get better. Hey, hello, Z Dragon. Thank you for tuning in. Unfortunately, I have brought a small raid. Whoa, thank you, Z Dragon. But it's the end of our show. So tomorrow, don't forget, 1 p.m. No, not tomorrow, on Sunday. 1 p.m. We're gonna do some opening tactics practice and build up our opening repertoire. Thank you guys. Hey, thank you for viewing. I thought no one's watching, but thank you. Heard right after I started the raid. Is Z Dragon also Filipino? I don't know, Z Dragon. Are you a Filipino? No, Z Dragon's not Filipino. Alright, guys. Don't forget, you can subscribe to my Twitch, YouTube, and hopefully you can play better chess. Bye-bye. I'm just American. We're both American, Z Dragon. I'm a Filipino American. Alright. Goodbye. Enjoy this music, hopefully. Bye-bye. Thank you. But quality lessons here. Nice. Nice. Thank you for a compliment.